Welcome back to our channel. Hear me out. I'm Dee.
I'm E.
And today we're going to be giving you a quick little video on a subject that we noticed online in the last couple weeks because of the biggest pop star being on tour right now. And I'm talking about Beyonce doing the Renaissance tour. But the headline, the headline, guys, is not about Beyonce. It's about Miss Blue Ivy Carter, who apparently is definitely going to be falling in line with the family business out here and has joined her mom on stage. I think I read somewhere that people were saying, "Oh, I can't believe Beyonce was able to book Blue Ivy," which I think is hilarious because, like, yes, Blue Ivy, Grammy winning Blue Ivy. Love it.
Beyonce was probably like, "You better get on stage and do this for free. I don't got time for you. I'm down to dancer."
You can't be charging me no 15%, no nothing. You doing this, man, or you ain't getting your allowance this week.
Yeah.
Those are the conversations we imagine must have happened in the Knowles Carter home.
Mhm.
But before we get started, guys, don't forget, make sure to like, subscribe, share, come join us. We're here being crazy, sometimes a little dramatic. We're Hispanic, we can't help it. That's
It
what we
is
are.
what it is. It comes with the territory.
Yeah, yeah. And and we would like to be able to, conversate with you guys. Let us know what y'all think. I mean, we're talking to each other, but we would love to talk to you guys too. So yeah,
Hmm.
just talk to us. Let us know what you're thinking. But let's go ahead and get started with this quick little video about Blue Ivy and what we've been seeing and reading online.
All right. The media, they're not the nicest people. They
God.
could be, there's a lot good and a lot bad. So we have been reading, a few articles, and right now we're looking at Refinery 29. And it's basically saying how Beyonce is fostering the love for music and arts in Blue Ivy, teaching her some work ethic, and how Beyonce is very protective of her kids, making sure that they're not, just what's the word?
I guess I pushed too hard.
Yeah, the media has been heavily scrutinizing them, all the kids, especially when, Blue Ivy was born. People have been cyberbullying her in the past, everything from her facial features to her hair texture to her attitude. And now people are taking an issue with her dancing and having fun with her mom at work. So, yeah, damn if you do, damn if you don't. I
You
don't know.
know, look, like you and I have discussed on many videos so far on this channel, celebs, these famous people, they sign up for this stuff, right? They sign up to be scrutinized, to be judged, and all that. Granted, we're not saying it's fair, we're not saying it's right, but they sign up for this life, right? They know what comes with it. Their children don't. Their children do not sign up for this. They are just kids who are trying to live whatever life they're trying to live in this very strange world that they live in because it does not look like the world we live in, right? And to me, it's just bonkers that people really sit here and criticize a little girl who's 11 and is coming to work with mom. Like, what is the problem? What is the problem, guys?
This article is saying how adults were rushing to Beyonce's internet, and saying nasty things about a literal child having fun, questioning why she was on stage to begin with, and even calling her dancing mid, whatever mid is.
It's like a Gen Z term, I think, that it's kind of
I
like
can't keep
supposed to
up.
be not good because
Really, I
apparently,
barely learned cringe the other day. So,
listen, Linda, we're learning as we go because clearly we ain't Gen Z. We're not. But yeah, no, like, how are you gonna really show up on the Queen's internet and talk about her child like that? Like, why? Why? Because let me just say that, like, I could not, me, myself, as a grown person, could not go on stage in front of 20, 30, 40, 50, 60,000 people and even talk, let alone dance, perform. None of that. Keep up with my mother, who is a global icon, who's known for her before. Stop. I can't. I
I
just can't.
think she's holding her own for being 11 years
Yes.
old. I mean, I think the first concert, I mean, the first dance that she did, like one of the first concert tours that she did, she was a little, I don't want to call her stiff.
Shy.
She was shy. But I still thought it was so cute because I'm like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like bring your child to work day kind of
Yeah.
thing. You know, like who didn't like that? I thought it was like pretty adorable. And then we've seen in subsequent concerts how much confidence she's gained. Like you can tell like she's like getting like really into it. She's comfortable. And mind you, she's like on front stage next to her mama doing the whatever
The
dancing
dance move.
that
The
they're doing.
choreo. The
Huh?
choreo. All
Yeah,
that
choreo.
choreo.
Like I mean, I can't believe that people are actually criticizing an 11-year-old instead of saying, Beyonce's teaching some work ethic,
Yeah.
Beyonce, Jay-Z, Blue Ivy is earning her coins if she's making some coins, which I'm sure she is because, all the tax deductions and things like that, speaking from an accounting perspective. So, why are they so harsh on her? It's summertime. She needs something to do.
Mm-hmm.
Her mama gotta watch her. What's the
Yes, ma'am.
problem?
I think people are just bored and have nothing better to do. And maybe you're just unhappy with your life, and that's why you want to criticize an 11-year-old because you're not on that stage. Or maybe you couldn't afford a ticket. I don't know. But point
That
is,
quickly.
I'm just saying, to me, a child should be like a hard line. Like, there's no reason that you need to be out here criticizing a kid, especially so publicly. Like, if Beyonce has been, kind of protective of her kids, she has every reason to be. Look at what's happening. This is supposed to be like such a fun, like interesting time for her that she's 11, she's a preteen, she's going to be like coming into her own very soon. And these are experiences that are just going to be like for a lifetime. And I can only imagine, like, if it's hard enough as an adult, if somebody criticizes you and it makes you not want to do something anymore, imagine being a kid and being
Mhm.
criticized. Like, how do we know that she's not going to be the next Beyonce? How do we know that she's not going to be, somebody even bigger than her mother? But then she's being judged and criticized so heavily. So I'm glad that Beyonce is fostering like this sort of, work ethic and love of music and love of performing and confidence, right? Because you can tell that Beyonce has poured into her major confidence, like the black girl magic that people talk about. And I'm glad that she has that, and I'm glad that maybe she's sheltered from some of these like criticisms because it'd be really unfair, for her to like see any of these things or read any of these things and really take any of it personal because it's not your fault, Blue. It's not. These people are just miserable. That's all.
And one can say that she's learning the industry from the ground up.
Yeah.
If we know, Beyonce's history, she was a child star as well in
Hmm.
Destiny's Child, practicing choreo, things like that. So, it's
Yeah.
kind of like following in her mother's footsteps, but it's also this is the family this is what the family does, entertainment,
Yeah.
music. So, I mean, what better way to get some exposure than being a dancer, learning the choreography, knowing the ins and outs of the business, being
Yeah.
behind the scenes with her mom and learning. So, you would think that people would look at this aspect of, what Blue Ivy is doing and what Beyonce is doing and instilling, but they seem to just focus on the literal dancing of it, which
That's
is
insane.
crazy.
Yeah. And no, you have a great point. I mean, like, how often do you get to really, start from the very bottom and work your way and like kind of learn these things that, you may not otherwise learn. And there's also like, there's a lot of talk earlier in the year about nepo babies and nepotism in Hollywood and everything. But I mean, Beyonce could have easily just said, "Here, Blue Ivy, let's get you your own tour. Let's get you your own album," but no, she has her there working with her mom, right? Like keeping up with these world class dancers because Beyonce does not hire mid people, right? Let's use that word again. So here is this 11-year-old keeping up with the dancers, being on stage in front of thousands and thousands of people. And it's not just once, she's already done it a few times. And so I mean, like, that's pretty cool to be able to get that sort of experience, to be able to get that sort of knowledge. Um, Especially from a young age, right? Because she could have easily just been like, I just want to be home. It's my summer break or something, like I just want to like play or whatever. But she's choosing to do something else. And I think that's like really commendable and also indicative of the fact that Beyonce and Jay-Z, have probably created that sort of environment for her to want to be a part of these things. We see it with other celebrity kids,
Mm-hmm.
and just how like they kind of also follow in their parents' footsteps and do certain things with them, like we've seen with Northwest. I think you can tell by now she's definitely going to be a personality all her own. So yeah, it's just it's very sick to see people respond that way about a kid and her just having fun with her mom.
I remember seeing Diddy saying something similar with like, who was it, King Combs, like one of his sons,
Yeah.
just getting into the rap game, and he didn't want to necessarily help his son just because, he didn't want, you know, the nepotism of it all. He wanted him
Yeah.
to achieve this success with, I forget what song it is. But once he did, of course, he was proud of him. Now he can like kind of collaborate with his son, but it was important for him for his son to make it on his no on his own and make his own name
Right.
before attaching, to the Diddy name, to the bad boy name or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, and of course, Northwest, like you mentioned, Kanye's daughter. She already has all this personality on TikTok, and there's
Yeah.
all these different trademarks and things that the Kardashians, to move on to the next generation.
Hmm.
Of course they're gonna launch all these businesses and things like that. So
Yeah.
even the kids are part of the show, so they're kind of
Right.
seeing what the family does again, and how they make their money, and I'm sure they're instilling all this like creativity and business acumen,
Yeah.
just being a part of that life.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's just very like awesome that they are even able to do any of this, right? Like, and then I'm sure that it's a choice. I'm pretty sure that they're not like forcing them, like, hey, you need to, be in the spotlight. Hey, you need to get on stage. I'm pretty sure it's more of like a situation of, do you want to do this? Or, what about this? Or whatever. Like, so
Hmm.
that's really, I think, good, because again, they're just kids and they're learning as they go along as well. But I mean, they're part of this bigger world, that their families, their parents are a part of. So, um, obviously, I know that criticism comes with the territory for these people, but again, I just think it's like so so inappropriate to judge a child like that. And one of the things we were talking about earlier, like how when Beyonce was younger, her father like was very much diligent and militant even about making sure that Beyonce, Destiny's Child, and even Solange, like they were, they could become who they became. And they had these boot camps, they had like all these different things they had to do. There was
Joe
even a
Jackson much?
Yes, right. Even going as far back as that. I mean, so we know that parents have played a role in shaping, their kids and them becoming like these pop icons or whatever and kind of really making it more of like an actual job. Whereas you can kind of tell like Blue Ivy's having fun, Northwest is having fun, like, and that's what you want to see from these kids. You don't want to see them like, oh, they gotta like work, like this is like a literal job or whatever. That's not how it should be. So I'm glad that that's definitely not what it seems like for either of those two girls. And I'm interested to see what happens down the line and what other, things they'll come up with. I mean, they come from very like interesting families.
Blue Ivy, do your thing. Ignore the people.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of your mother per se right now, but I
Yeah.
like what you're doing. Okay? I like it. And I like what your mom is wearing too. I
Oh,
just got to pull that out there.
we have a
Um,
video coming up about that. Make sure you watch it.
please do. So guys, I think that wraps up our little chat of Blue Ivy. If you guys are not liking her dance moves, just keep it to yourself. She's a kid. She's
No.
11. She's
Yeah.
trying. She's having fun. Let's chill, okay? The
Yeah.
paps, the mean people. If you're cool and enjoy, go spend some money on Beyonce so she can give Blue Ivy an allowance. Just let the girl have fun, okay?
Yeah, let her enjoy this summer break on stage.
So please, guys, subscribe, join us. We talk about a whole bunch of stuff like
Pop
celebrities,
culture.
pop culture,
Yeah.
celebrities, fashion, sports, Kim, Georgina, Blue Ivy, I don't know, a world
You name
debate on whatever we talk about. These are our phone conversations, but now they're on YouTube. Um,
it.
Thank you for joining us. Subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos, and we'll see you
Yeah.
next time. Peace.
Bye. Peace.